Hey everyone, I'm coming to you from the Comfy Sweater Brigade. I love this sweater. This is a thrift store find. I think it was 99 cents, but whatever. I want to talk about bullying. It happens today. Sometimes within our own family, sometimes within our own DNA. This is not a new concept. This is not something that just popped up out of the blue. It's something that's always existed. Um, from before Christ and after death and so on and so forth. And I'm going to read something to you. I was bullied in high school by various individuals from elementary through grade school. I saw some of those people at our reunions. When they saw me, they said, wow. And I don't know why, because I think I've always, I, I, I don't know why. And when given the opportunity, I finally got a voice and I said, you know, you bullied me in school. Each one of them said, I'm really sorry, I apologize. Can you believe that? I also wrote, it takes time, wisdom, and understanding, along with self awareness, to understand your words and actions can and do hurt other people. I don't think our adult sons and daughters understand their behavior can be bullying and cruel. And a lot of it is done on the internet through anonymous posts and such. And they don't have to see our faces when we receive those messages. I've been walking this path for 15 years and I've seen my daughters I saw them at my grandma's funeral, 2019, and they wouldn't look at me. They wouldn't look me in the eye. And why? Because there's pain behind these eyes. There's sadness behind these eyes. And when it comes to true humanity and heart, if you have a heart, you never want to see someone suffering or sad. You just don't, especially when it comes to your own parents. I think what happened in my situation with my own daughters is, and I'll read this. When my children were bullied, I stepped in and took care of it. When they were in high school, there was this one boy, his name was Justin, and all the girls had a crush on him, including my youngest daughter. And her friends liked this kid too, because he was in their class. And there was another girl named Victoria who acted kind of in a rivals. It was kind of it wasn't a rivalry, but when my daughter explained to me what was happening, that he was I thought he was playing them all. And I said to my daughter, take a step back. You don't want to be that girl. You don't want to be a pawn in his game. Just take a step back and let them do their thing. So Justin and Victoria ended up hooking up. And then he was still friends with my daughter as well. And so they would text and communicate. And then Victoria had a problem with it. So then Victoria and my daughter started exchanging words in high school. Now, my daughters would have never physically touched anyone. But I called Victoria's mom because I knew it was escalating. And she said, well, your daughters are going to jump mine. And I said, they're not going to jump your daughter. They might exchange words, and we as adults exchange words. So that's, so as long as they don't touch each other, that's just the way it goes. And so Victoria's mom Victoria's mom said, well, your girls are fat and ugly or something like that. And I said, oh, this is not necessary. So I disconnected from her because she was not being reasonable. And I contacted the principal and I said, we have an issue. So he was on full alert. And then my daughter said, well, Victoria's mom keeps sitting outside of school with this guy. And I said, okay. So I showed up early and I sat outside of school, and I knew possibly there could be a problem. And I'm a mama bear. There's no way you're going to touch my kids. So I ended up having to file a police report because, at that point, she was also messaging my daughters saying really derogatory things. And I said, this needs to stop. You're an adult, they're children. And so I had to step in and I had to say, this is done. So I filed a police report and they went and talked to her. And eventually, they graduated from high school, or I ran into Victoria. And she said, I'm really sorry about my mom. She shouldn't have been involved. And I said, I agree, honey, this is not on you. So sometimes we deal with bullies. And we deal with bullies in our own families. And sometimes our own children become those types of people. And you can beg and plead and say to them, please be kind to me. And sometimes they just, at that moment, don't have it in them. And what can we do? There's really, at that point, we have to say, I'm not going to allow you to talk to me like that. I'm not going to allow you to treat me this way. If you can't do that, you need to cease contacting me. Just figure it out, because this is not acceptable. And other people should step in and tell them the same thing. So anyways, that's what I've got to tell you for right now. I have to go get my birds. They are ready to get out of bed, and that's why it's so quiet right now. But anyways, that's what I've got. No need to deal with bullies. They've got their own internal struggles, and that's all there is to it. So anyways, that's all I've got, and I will be back.